Sellers, are you making one of these huge mistakes that could be costing you thousands of dollars? Well, let's talk about that today. My name is Mindy Sylvester, and I've been selling real estate in the Naples area for over 25 years. So hard to believe, right? It's called a filter. Ha. Anyway, if this is your first time to the channel, please hit the subscribe button so you'll be the first to get the latest Naples real estate information. Okay, so let's talk about these three huge mistakes that sellers are making that could be costing thousands of dollars and why you shouldn't do it. Okay, mistake number one is choosing an agent based on their commission rate. Sellers think that if they pay more commission, they're going to get less money. And that is not necessarily the case. Very far from it, actually. All agents differ in their skill set, their marketing experience, their exposure, just their abilities to market a home. What really matters to get top dollar when you're selling your home is maximum exposure. You need an agent to get you maximum exposure, and here's why. The more exposure you get, the more views you get. The more views you get, the more interest you get. The more interest you get, the more offers you get, and the more offers and interest, the higher the offers are going to be. Okay, it doesn't have to do with commission. All right, there are, like I said, there are just a variety. Some agents, it's very sad how agents put the wrong number of bedrooms on a home. They don't even get professional photos. There are so many different things an agent can do to market a property, and some agents don't even have a marketing plan. They put the home on MLS. They maybe will do a couple open houses. And if they're doing open houses and that's their marketing plan, that's very discouraging because open houses are let's sit and wait and hope somebody walks in the door. Well, you need to have a very aggressive marketing plan. Video marketing, for one, is the best way to get maximum exposure. That is the reason why you see me do all of these videos all the time. Do you think I love doing videos? No, I don't love doing videos at all. I despise them, but they work. And that's what I care about. I care about what works for my sellers and what's going to get them absolute top dollar. And just because you're paying more commission doesn't mean you're getting less money. In fact, it's quite the opposite. You need an agent who's going to get you maximum exposure. The difference in the percentage of commissions sometimes will far exceed. Gotta be careful with that. A good agent is worth their commission because they will get you maximum exposure. That's about all I can say for that, because we do have very strict laws in talking about commission, and I'm not at all for breaking any kind of rules. I don't do good. I wouldn't do good on the inside. Let's just say that. I'm a rule follower. But anyway, I just really want you to know, so many people that say, well, this agent's going to take this and this agent's going to take this. And I say, well, why don't you look at how many homes that agent has sold? Why don't you look at their average list to sales price? Okay, because my average list to sales price is very high, and it's sometimes in some communities it's as much as 5 to 7% higher than all the other agent sales combined. If you look at my sales versus all of their sales and you look at the average list to sales price, mine far exceeds the gap that you might be saving by using another discount broker. Okay, and it's true what they say, you get what you pay for. But here's the real thing. I need you to think about this. If an agent can't even negotiate for their own commission, how could they possibly negotiate for you to get the highest price? They can't even negotiate to feed their own family. How can they negotiate for you? You need a tough negotiator with a marketing plan. That is what's going to get you top dollar. Okay, mistake number 2 that sellers make: overpricing your home. Okay, number 2 mistake that sellers make: picking an agent based on what price they tell them to list for. I will not take an overpriced listing anymore. And it's interesting because wow, you're really fucking up. The number two mistake sellers make is choosing an agent based on what price they tell them they're going to sell it for. I can't even tell you how many listings I've lost because they say, oh, well, this agent says she's going to get this price. Okay, well, we all look at the same comps, and some agents will tell you, oh, I can get you this so that they can get the listing, and then they're going to ask you to reduce. Well, I'm going to be honest with you from the get-go. We all look at the same stats. We're going to get the same price based on the market value. Of course, good agents will get you maximum exposure, but just picking an agent based on the fact that they're going to give you this price that they think you're going to get is a huge mistake. I've got several listings on the market right now, or I guess I should say there are several listings on the market right now that I didn't take or that I didn't get because I didn't want an overpriced listing. I spend my really hard-earned money on listings. I pay for marketing, photos. I could be using that money for my own home. Like we have our own repairs to do, right? But I'm marketing your home. And I'm not going to take overpriced listings anymore that I know aren't going to sell, whereas other agents are. There's a listing right now in a neighborhood that I sell a lot in. I actually didn't get the listing because, well, I didn't want the listing, but I didn't get it because another agent told them they were going to get like $400,000 more. I told them the price, they didn't like it. Guess what? It's been over a year and they're finally at that price now. If they would have been at the price they told them to be at a year ago, they probably would have been sold and on to their new life. Right? But they wanted to go with the other agent who told them the high price. They've reduced, I think, $400,000 now. And now, guess what? They're at the price I told them. There are so many examples of that. Look at the comps. Listen to the reasoning. Pick an agent based on their skill set, their exposure, and analyze the price carefully and price your home to sell. And that's going to take me to the number three mistake that sellers make is overpricing your home. And I could talk to you for an hour about how bad this is when you're trying to get top dollar. I'm going to give you two examples. A home just closed last week. It was not my listing. It was in a neighborhood that I do sell a lot of homes in. And they listed the home 526 days ago. It was around 1.8 million. Well, 526 days ago, if they would have listed that home at probably about 1.6, they probably would have sold that home very quickly. So they spent 526 days riding the market down. They just closed that home last week. Do you want to know what they sold it for? Are you ready for this? 1.1 million. Okay. They started at 1.8, sold it 526 days later for 1.1. They did this. The market was declining and they did this. If they would have put it at 1.6 right here, boom, they would have been in and out. You price your home to sell, and that's how you're going to get the most money, okay? Most sellers say, well, let's price it a little higher to see what kind of offers we get. We'll leave some negotiating room. Well, guess what? If you price your home too high, you're not going to get any offers to negotiate. If you price your home really well, buyers are going to come in and say, wow, buyers are looking at all the homes out there. So if you are a really good price, if you're priced right at market value, buyers are going to come in and say, oh my gosh, this house is so good and it's priced so well, we don't want to lose it. Let's make a good offer. Whereas you're sitting on the market for 500 days, what do you think they're going to say? What's wrong with this house? Something's wrong. Like nobody wants what nobody else wants, but everybody wants what everybody else wants. So let them bid against each other. Price it really well so that people will make great offers. Sitting on the market, they're going to say, well, let's make a low offer because obviously they're not selling it. I had this happen. I've had this happen multiple times. Another example, it's actually in the same neighborhood. I had a listing 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. I begged them to put the listing at one. This is when I absolutely stopped taking overpriced listings, because this is when I was still hopeful that people would actually reduce the price. I listed the house at 1.65. I really told them they needed to be at 1.5. They said they would reduce it later. Well, we are getting, this is right when the market started declining. And I said, I'm not quite sure what is happening. I feel like the market's declining. I track the market every single day. Every single day, I write down the number of new listings, pending solds, closed sales, price reductions, back on the market, and the total number of homes for sale. How does this help? Well, this helps me track when I start to see the number of sales go up or the number of sales go down or the price reductions. This helps me really track the market trends as they're happening. And that way I can tell my buyers and sellers, really, this is starting to become a trend. I think you should pay attention to this. Well, guess what? I begged them to be a 1.5. I could have sold it for 1.5 all day long. I could have had multiple offers if they just would have put it at 1.5. We had that house on the market for 6 months. They got rid of me. Maybe I got rid of them. But anyway, they got a new agent. He had it for a year. Do you know how much their home is worth right now? Probably about a little less than 900,000. Yeah, about 900,000. I could have sold that home all day for 1.5 million. And they would have been on to their beautiful new home. Dangerous. It is so dangerous to overprice your listing. It is one of the biggest mistakes, if not the biggest mistake you're going to make. Hire an agent that knows the market and is not afraid to tell you. So many agents are afraid to tell you, oh gosh, your home is overpriced. Guess what? That hurts you. Have an agent who's going to be bold, who's going to tell you the truth, even if you don't want to hear it, and make sure your house is priced properly. And that is how you're going to get the highest possible price. Okay, so I guess I just combined 2 and 3. Number 1, don't choose an agent based on commission. Number 2, don't choose an agent based on price. And number 3, don't overprice your home. Okay, so those are the 3 things you absolutely need to avoid in order to get top dollar. So please don't do it. And if you're thinking about selling, please contact me. I have sold over 800 homes. I know the market. I will be honest. I have an aggressive marketing plan will get you maximum exposure, and I'll get you the absolute top dollar. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you call me and let's get your home sold. Thanks. Have a great day.